Hi, I'm Chris, and today I want to talk about more keyboard shortcuts, this time for Chrome. As mentioned in yesterday's keyboard shortcut video about system keyboard shortcuts on a Mac, I love keyboard shortcuts. And Chrome is probably one of the applications I use most because nowadays everything is online, everything is in the web. Google Drive's there, email's there, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything is web-based, everything is in Chrome. So might as well start learning those keyboard shortcuts because it is the application I use most. And since in the last video there was so many shortcuts, I will keep this a little shorter and give you 21 of the most useful shortcuts for Google Chrome. Let's dive right in and switch to the computer. Now obviously Chrome has tons and tons of shortcuts, and of course many of the shortcuts that I mentioned in yesterday's video are going to work with Chrome as well. For example, the hiding, the minimizing, the quitting and stuff like that. There are, however, some differences. First of all, let's view a little bit of the window and tab management. One thing that works the same there is Command and N actually opens a regular new window. But in Chrome you also have the incognito mode, which is for private browsing, where nobody sees what websites you opened and and what you did there, and also you are not logged in. For me that's very helpful in terms of development because sometimes I want to test how a website looks without me being logged in and see if there's anything different, or just use the website as a guest instead of the logged in user that I am. And sometimes the incognito mode is very helpful also if you, for example, run a blog or you have a YouTube channel or something like that, and you just want to know how does this website look without my plugins, without my username and stuff like that. So instead of opening a regular window, we can open the incognito window with Command, Shift and N. So there you have the first shortcut. It's Command, Shift and N, and it is for opening a incognito window. But Chrome is such a useful tool that it is not only window-based, but actually has tabs. And if you're confused by tabs, I really recommend you learn them because it makes life so much easier to be able to browse different websites simultaneously and have them open at the same time. So you don't really need the new windows that often. I personally, most of the time, I only have one Chrome window open and the other stuff is just in tabs. So to do that, for example, to have a new tab, I actually can do just either click this little plus thing here. This is a new tab, or I just hit Command and T and that opens a new tab instantly. Now here comes a keyboard shortcut that actually is different from what we are used to with normal Mac OS. If we hit Command and W, it actually only closes a tab and not the whole window, which I think is really helpful. It would be super confusing to close the whole window with this shortcut because I think it's much better in this case to have it close the tab instead of the window. If, however, you want to close the whole window, you can do that with Command, Shift and W. That will close all the tabs that are currently open in that particular browser window. Now, if we have two websites open, let's say we are on google.com and we are on youtube.com as well. In terms of tab management, there are a couple more shortcuts that are really useful. For example, Command and Alt and the arrow keys left and right let you navigate between tabs and switch between them. Now, if you want to, for example, you can go around to the left and to the right, and it just jumps through those very easily. The next thing is if you close a tab but you did not want to close it, you actually want it back, you can do Command, Shift and T, which brings back a tab that you just closed, which is really helpful if you accidentally close a tab. For browsing the web faster, Chrome actually has this very useful feature called the omnibar, where you can just type something and then it automatically searches it with Google, or you type the URL of something and it will automatically go to that URL. But how do you get to the URL field? Well, obviously you can click there, but that is not really the most useful way. But if you do Command and L, it will jump to the menu bar and you can instantly start typing something. Let's say you are searching for fish and then just hit enter and you're going to find fish on Google and then have your result there. The next thing that is really helpful is in-page navigation. For example, in this case, if I want to get the next couple of results, I can just hit the spacebar and it will jump a page down. If I do the same thing with pressing Shift before, like Shift and then spacebar, it will do the same thing in the other order. The same thing applies to, for example, completely going to the end of the website and to the start. If I hold Command and the arrow key down, it will jump to the last bits and pieces of this website, and the same thing with up, it will go up again. But sometimes you actually want to go back to the website where you were before. That can be achieved by Command and the left arrow key. It will instantly go back to the site where you were before. The same thing applies to Command and the right arrow key. You will instantly go to the website where you have been last. Also something very useful if you wonder why something is not working or a website did not load in the first try, you can use Command and R to reload the page, and it depends on the website. Sometimes it changes something or it fixes something. So Command R is really helpful to reload a page. Also, if you want to find something inside a page, very, very useful, of course, you can do Command and F and it will open this search bar, and there I can, for example, search singer because I just read that there. But now, actually, if I want to jump through the results, I can do that by enter. So if I hit enter, it will actually jump to the next result. And if I click shift and enter, it will jump to the previous result. So it will rotate through the results, and I can do the reverse order with shift and enter. And as we all know, websites have different font sizes, and sometimes it's a little hard to read something, or you just need to have a special look on some details. You can actually do that with either pinching your mouse and you zoom in with the mouse, and you can do that with 2 fingers on the trackpad, just pinch to zoom and pinch to zoom out, the same way you would do it on an iPhone. And if you want to do the same thing, but with the font size and the whole website, you can just do Command and plus for increasing the font size and the overall readability. The same thing goes for Command minus. And if it just randomly happened and you want to go back to normal, you can do Command and 0 and it will jump to the normal 100% setting. One of the last things I also wanted to mention with tab management is the command and click, which basically means open this tab in the background in a new tab. So if I wanted to, for example, search for fish and I wanted to open a couple of the results and I don't want to go through all of them one after another, I can just, for example, here, the Wikipedia article, I can hit command and click and it will open this in the new tab up here, and I can do the same thing with the Singer fish and the official fish company, and then this one. So for example, here I now have those 4 tabs and I can switch through the tabs with Command, Alt and the right and left arrow keys, and they just opened in the background, and that really works well with command and clicking a link. The last tip I want to leave you with is if you want to have tabs next to each other or windows next to each other, you can actually remove a tab from an open window by just dragging it with your mouse like you would drag a file and leave it out of the tab bar. Then it is a window by itself and you can move it around, and you can do the same thing in the reverse order. You can just pick this one and bring it back, and you can leave it up in the tab bar, and that way you have it back in the tab bar and just can work with the one window you already had. One thing as well that is special with Chrome, if you hit Command Q, it will warn you because it's sometimes not the particularly most useful thing you wanted to do. Just closing the whole window with quitting all the tabs, and I actually have that. It is the basic setting, and if that is not set up, you can go to Chrome and warn before quitting, and I think this is very helpful. I accidentally quit sometimes, and this is not what you want to happen because all your research might be gone. Also, there is 2 more shortcuts. There is the history of downloads, which you can access by Command, Shift and J. It will open a tab and it will instantly show you what you downloaded in the last couple of months. And then you have also Command and comma, which of course will bring you to the settings and you can change stuff here. One thing I would definitely recommend in the settings, I would set this to continue where you left off. So if you actually end up quitting your browser accidentally, it will reopen with the tabs you just closed. And I think you don't want to lose your stuff, so just have this as continue where you left off. And if you want to actually close all the tabs, Command Shift and W will close all the tabs, and Command W will just close certain tabs. Now there you have it. Of course, Chrome, one of the most used tools out there, and also by statistics, it's the most used browser out there. I would absolutely recommend learning a couple of these shortcuts. Many work in other browsers as well, not all of them though, or they are different in other browsers. Now, as always, like this video if it was helpful for you, comment if you have anything to add or other questions, and connect with me on my social media channels at Spiegel.io, and the links as always are in the description below, as well as the shortcut list in this case. I will see you in the next video and have a nice day.